Hello everybody and welcome back again to Let's Play Assassin's Creed Black Flag. So, last episode we ended by doing a few naval contracts, but to be honest, none of them were that much of a challenge, even those that were labeled the most difficult, because apparently my ship is just too upgraded for that. So how about we dial it up a notch today and take care of some of these legendary ships, or at least try to. We will see how difficult that is going to be. So I went to one of the corners of the map, and I guess we're going to start with this one. I don't know if it makes much of a difference, which one of them is easier or more difficult. I guess we will find out. So yeah, take the wheel and let's approach.
Hey, what's that in there for? It looks like a ship.
Shall we board it, Captain?
Ooh,
Looks like a ghost ship.
a ghost ship.
Risen from the dead to sink us.
Well, and we already have some very strong mist. Well, there we go. It looks very menacing. Yeah, I'm sure this is going to be a little bit more difficult. HMS Prince. Okay, I don't know. Let's start with a mortar. Oh, they have mortars too, huh? They totally have. Let's try to stay out of that. And let's give them a nice broadside. And another mortar. Alright. Well, I'm doing some decent damage here, I think. Just need to make sure that they don't do too much damage. Oh, let's brace. I think they're firing. Yep. Maybe another mortar in between. Yep, they definitely have a mortar too. Let's try to avoid them. Okay. I think we mostly avoided that. And another broadside. Okay, I think we have them about halfway down. But they're doing some decent damage too if they manage to hit us. So gotta be careful about that. There we go. And another broadside. Okay, let's brace. And take a mortar in between. Right, broadside. Okay, I think we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere here. Just need to make sure they don't hit us all that often. Let's brace for a moment. There we go. So, a few more broadsides should do the trick. Alright. Oh, well, they're still firing. They're still firing.
They're firing mortars.
I need to get a bit more damage here. Oh, let's brace. Come on, we're so close. We are so close to this. Alright. This should be it. I hope. Nope, they're still going. They're still going. Okay. Did we make it? Alright. We did it. Can we board the legendary ships, or do we just have to destroy them? Well, apparently we just destroy them. Alright, well. This was a bit more difficult. Especially since they did a lot more damage than your regular ship. Ooh, look at that. Lots of money. Okay, so that is one legendary ship down. But before I can deal with the other ones, I definitely need to go back to a harbor, repair my ship, and refill my ammo. Alright, I have repaired my ship, I have refilled my ammo, and I am approaching the next legendary ship. It's the one down here in the southwestern corner. So yeah, let's see what kind of ship this is going to be. Can't make her out so far. Ah, here we go.
Look at the size of her.
La Dama Negra. The Black Lady. But apparently this is a real ship and not a ghost ship, huh? Ooh, but yes, she is a big one. And she's greeting me with some mortars and with some bad weather too. Okay, whoa, 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 well, this is, different. Oh, she has armor. Well, that's the problem. Yeah, that barely did any damage at all. Okay. Let's get a bit closer. Maybe a nice broadside will dent her armor. Oh, careful, careful. Yeah, that didn't do any damage at all. So, how am I supposed to sink her if I can't do any damage? Oh, well, I can do damage from behind. Alright, apparently they kind of forgot to put armor on the back. Well, I guess I can work with that. There we go. And maybe another one. Okay, well, this is unusual, but at least it's like a strategy I can use here. So let's try to stay close to her. And, I mean, the mortar does do a little bit of damage, so I guess when I'm too far away for a broadside, I may as well fire a few shots of mortar, huh? Oh well, speaking of mortar, she has a mortar too. So, let's get another hit. And let's try to avoid her hit. Yep, here we go. No, no, please, please don't ram me. I mean, she doesn't have like a ram thingy, so her ramming ability is probably not super powerful. Okay, careful, I don't want to get hit by that. And that did a bit of damage. Oh, well, she's firing her mortar too. But okay, at least we have a viable strategy here. It's a very unusual one. But, I guess this is what we have to do here. A few mortars every now and then. And a broadside in her back when I'm close enough. Right, let's do it. And a few swivels. Right. Yeah, now I have to avoid her broadside again. Oh well, brace, brace, brace. I sped up a little bit too early here. Okay, turn quicker. Alright, I guess that did at least some damage. Oh, and now I have to speed up to avoid her mortar again. Oh, well, yeah, this battle is a lot more difficult. Mostly because it's just so different than what we are used to. I mean, usually ships are not that particular about where I have to hit them. Also, while they are shooting mortars, you don't see where the mortar is going to hit. That's another problem. So you really have to do this by gut feeling, I suppose. Also, I feel that my ship is moving a lot slower than usual. I'm not sure why that is. Anyway, let's turn around here and let's use a heavy cannon, maybe. Alright. Alright. I think we did it. We did it. Okay. That was a lot more difficult indeed. Okay, but we did it. Rather unusual battle. Let's make a turn and let's collect our loot. Oh, gotta be careful about that. That would be a pity. We sink a legendary ship and then we get hit by a tornado and die. But okay, we got our loot and apparently the sharks are happy as well. They are celebrating. But okay, that's legendary ship number 2. So again, I will quickly head back to a harbor to repair my ship, and I usually just go to Great Inagua because the harbor master is very close to the actual harbor, and then we will go for the next legendary ship. Alright, I'm on my way to the next legendary ship. It is the one in the northeastern corner over here. Oh, it's 2 of them. It's 2 of them. Well, I guess this is going to be twice as difficult. 2 level 75 ships. HMS Fearless and Royal Sovereign. Okay. Okay. Let's do it. Maybe let's greet them with a mortar. Once I'm close enough. There we go. Oh, I had to wait for the cutscene first. Right. So one of them has black sails, the other one has white sails.
They're heading straight forward.
And they're heading straight forward. Okay. Let's use another mortar while they're trying to reach us. Oh, are you going to ram me? Well, you might. Oh, but now you're going to use a broadside on me, right? And the other one is over here. I think they're trying to sandwich me. Is this what's going on here? Yeah, that's totally what's going on here. They're trying to put me into a frigate sandwich. Alright. Let's use another broadside here, but oh, I have to breach first. Well, I might be able to get some of these in your way. And now it's time for another mortar. So the white one seems to be the Sovereign, and the black one seems to be the Fearless. Also, I'm not seeing them use any mortars, so this might be an opportunity for me. Just try to stay at a distance and use my mortar against them. Oh, but No, they're coming close again. Yeah, they're trying to sandwich me again. They're totally trying to sandwich me again. Ooh, that is a nasty strategy. That is a nasty strategy. Yeah. Maybe we can ram her a little bit. Ooh, brace. Yeah, this isn't going so well. This isn't going so well. I may have to try this battle again. Because I already took far too much damage, I think. Alright, let's make a turn here. Too far away at the moment. I think they're trying to meet up again and then they will turn around again and they will try to put me into another sandwich. That's what you're trying to do, right? But yeah, they are not using any mortars, so that could be a potential strategy for me. Using the mortar against them. Alright, that was a good shot.
On your mark, come out!
There's another one. Oh, well. You're coming awfully close. Oh, I think you're trying to ram me, huh? Alright, well, at least that did some good damage this time. There we go. That's one of them down. Nice. So, I think they're not quite as powerful in terms of their hull. You're trying to ram me, sir. Oh, yep, you totally are. Whoa, that did a lot of damage. That did a hell lot of damage. Okay, note to self. Don't let yourself get rammed. Okay, let's give this another attempt. First of all, gotta get a little bit closer. Alright, here we go. Cutscene. And I somehow have to try to avoid getting sandwiched by them, because that does so much damage if they do it. Yeah, I can see it already. One is going to the right, the other one is going to the left. They are trying to sandwich me again. Here we go. And it's really hard to avoid that. Right. Brace. Let's try to get in a few hits ourselves. And let's not forget about the mortar. As long as they're far away, they can't attack me.
We're ready, sir.
Alright. That's the Fearless. Okay, they are preparing to sandwich me again. I can see it. Alright. And now we have some pretty strong winds here too. Well, still doing fairly good at the moment. But I haven't done much damage either.
Off target.
Yeah, I barely anticipated that. I kinda need to anticipate their movement if I use my mortar. Or I will obviously miss. And I think they are preparing for another sandwich attack. What is the best way to avoid that, I wonder? I mean, I could just try to stay away from them, but they're turning around. It's going to be difficult. Alright, they have regrouped for another attack. And I will try to avoid getting in between them. Alright. Alright, let's use a broadside here. And another mortar. So maybe I will do this a little bit different this time. Instead of taking down one first, I will try to damage them both to a point where they are almost destroyed. Because as soon as I sank one of them, the other one went really crazy and started to attack me with a strong ram attack. So maybe I should not sink them too quickly here. Alright, the Fearless is pretty damaged. Let's damage the Sovereign a bit more too. Yeah, that was a little bit too far away. Let's brace. Let's brace. Alright, so Fearless is destroyed, but the Sovereign is a lot more damaged than it was last time. So hopefully I can take her down pretty quickly now. For example, by using a few mortars. Yep, she's trying to ram me again. Oh boy, oh boy. Alright. This is going to be a very close one again. This is going to be a very close one again. There we go! Woo! This was really a hit and miss at the end. Look at my health bar. There's barely anything left. But okay, we got them both. And now we just have to collect our loot. So I see one of them over here. And as a matter of fact, I think I have already collected the loot from the other ship. So don't need to find that anymore. So, where is it? Supposedly it's right next to me, but don't really see it here. Come on, don't deprive me of my well-deserved loot. I'm supposed to be right on top of it, but it's nowhere to be seen. Ooh! Ooh, give me my loot! I guess I will look around a bit and see if I can find it. Oh, it's over here for some reason. Well, not quite where the map told me. Okay, yeah, that's 3 legendary ships down. We still have one over here, but maybe I'm going to save that one for later. 3 legendary ship battles are enough for one day, I think. So I will return to harbor and maybe we will do a little bit of main quest for the rest of the episode. I have to think about that. Alright, my ship is fully repaired again, and I think it might be a little bit too late to start another main mission after all, because these missions tend to be connected to each other very closely. So how about we actually go for the final legendary ship after all? There's one more in the upper left corner to the northwest over here. So yeah, let's see what kind of ship this is going to be. Okay, here we go.
Ship sighted! Oh, she's a big.
El Impoluto. Okay, it's just one of them. It's a big one, but just one. Right, let's see.
coming straight at us.
Oh, okay. Is she like trying to ram me? Oh yeah, I think she is. Can we avoid this somehow? Well, barely. Okay, well, she's an aggressive one. She's an aggressive one, apparently. Well, let's try to get in a few hits ourselves. Right. That was a little bit too early. But these are a few hits. Okay. Well, she's far away. We're going to use a mortar here. Oh, gotta brace ourselves here. But that was not a good hit. Oh, she's coming in for another ramming. What if we ram her back? This is probably not a good idea. Nope, that did quite a bit of damage. Okay. Probably not a good idea. So, let's try to avoid her ramming attack here. And, in the meantime, gotta use another mortar. Alright. Oh, brace. I mean, her broadside is pretty damn powerful too. So, yeah. Let's try to turn around here. Okay. And we can use a bit of our swivel gun. Okay. At least we're doing some damage here. It's always good. But my health isn't doing all that great either, so let's see if I can do this on my first attempt or if I have to try this again a few times. Oh, I think she's trying to ram me again. Yep. Well, I kinda managed to avoid that. Oh, but now we are right in range of her broadside. Okay. Can use a bunch of swivels here. Oh, well, let's try to use a heavy gun here. Oh boy, this is a difficult one too. But I'm not doing entirely bad here. Oh, let's brace for a moment. Okay, I think she's trying to come in for another ramming attack. Oh boy, I'm not sure if I will be able to avoid this one. Oh, barely. Okay. If I can get in one more good broadside, this might be enough. Oh, whoa. I think I did it. Yes. Again, this was very close. Look at my health bar. This was really close. Okay, there we go. Charge attack. The charge attack allows you to temporarily speed up the jackdaw to ram an enemy ship with more strength. Hold right mouse button while looking forward and then double tap W to charge. Okay, why do I learn about this now? I guess it is a new attack that I get for defeating all of the legendary ships. Well, I did get an achievement for it, anyway. So yeah, apparently I did it. I did defeat all the legendary ships. Yeah, it was difficult. Definitely more difficult than the normal naval contracts. So there we go. Oh, and now we're getting hit by a rogue wave. Seriously? I barely have any structural integrity left. I hope this is not going to sink me here. Okay. We kind of made it, but we lost a lot of our crew. Didn't really have the time to properly align myself here. Okay. But I think now that I have done this, I will go back to Great Inagua, and I have an idea what to do with all of my money, because I think I still need to buy at least one upgrade for my villa. So I guess that's what I'm going to do with all my well-deserved loot. So, as you can maybe see, I have upgraded her a bit already. But I think there is at least one more, and it's rather pricey, so I haven't done it until now. But I definitely should have enough money now.
Now, what could I add to make it perfect?
So, what do I need to make it perfect? Apparently a guest house. Okay. The guest house is about as expensive as 2 of the legendary ships. Let's buy it. And I just got another achievement, so I guess now I have completely upgraded this place. And yeah, this looks a lot more homely than it was when it began. Not just because I got all the upgrades, but also because I got a bunch of objects and furniture from fleet missions. For example, I have quite a bit of stuff here, and since I haven't really bought any pieces of art yet, all of this comes from fleet contracts. So I have been doing it. Usually when I start an episode, I go to my fleet map and send away my ships, and then the next day or 2 days later, when I record the next episode, they will have returned, and they usually bring some interesting stuff and a lot of money too. So that's why I was able to earn a bit of money without doing much stuff myself. And yes, I have apparently people in here now, specifically young ladies. So this is apparently the kind of company that Edward likes to surround himself with. For example, we have a few in the bedroom. Not just one, but several of them.
Your lechery shames you, sir.
What did you just say? Come again? And yeah, this looks like a really nice homestead now. I would like to live here. It's kind of a pity that you spent so little time in this place, because this actually looks really nice. Anyway, let me check my time. I think it's not quite enough for one episode, but not really enough to start a mission. So I think what I'm going to do is I will do a bit more codex reading, because I haven't done that in a while. Yes, let's continue to read our people tab. So we got one about our sage. Now this might be interesting. What does it say? Yes, he is from Wales. And died? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Okay. Originally hailing from Wales, little is known about John Roberts, the real name of the man who would come to be known as Black Bart long after his death. Most assume he went to sea at a very young age, at 13 or so, but there is no record of him in any historical documents until his noted appearance in 1718 aboard a merchant ship, Barbadian in origin. Just a year later, our picture of Robert's life sharpens considerably. We now know that he was pressed into piracy by the notorious Howell Davis while working aboard a slave ship under Captain Abraham Plumb. And though Roberts had likely not gone to sea with the intent of becoming a pirate, when the opportunity thrust itself upon him, Roberts was reported to have said, "A merry life and a short one shall be my motto." Okay. A few months later, Davis was killed in an ambush on the Portuguese island of Principe, and Roberts was swiftly and anonymously elected to replace him. Yeah, this just happened recently. This was surely a testament to the man's natural charisma and leadership, for he had been a pirate only a few months. It was at this point he took the name Bartholomew, likely naming himself for the infamous Bartholomew Sharp, a pirate of some renown who had disappeared just 2 decades earlier. One of the most intelligent and strategic pirates of the Golden Age, Roberts was a sturdy, handsome man known to dress in fine clothes. A handsome man who carried himself with a dignified but unpretentious air. He had dark hair to match his dark complexion, likely set from the almost 2 decades he had spent at sea. He often carried numerous pistols, each tied to one end of long silk sashes, which he kept slung over his shoulder. That's a lot of interesting minute detail. His tactical ideas were usually radical but thoughtfully considered. He never jumped into any scheme rashly, though his ideas seemed almost suicidal to those unacquainted with his methods. Ultimately responsible for the theft of around 400 ships in his 3-year career, he bested every other pirate of the era by a factor of 10 times or more, although it must be said that at least half these boats were small periguas and the like. Okay, well, nothing about his activities as a sage, but these codex entries usually don't mention stuff like that anyway. And yeah, here we go. We have an entry about Blackbeard now, and yes, he just died very recently. Known variously by different sources as Thatch, Teach, Thatch, Tetch, Titch, Tetch, Tech, and more, we are fairly certain this Edward was born in or around Bristol and took to the sea at an early age, most likely in his teens. It is also speculated that he arrived in the West Indies quite soon after leaving England. If it was indeed the case, Ed Thatch would have seen his fair share of the War of Spanish Succession, a protracted fight between most of the empires of Europe that pitted Britain against royalist Spain and France. In these early years, from 1700 to 1713, he would have been a privateer or at the very least a merchant seaman doing his part for the crown, Queen Anne at the time. But with the Treaty of Utrecht bestowing peace upon a troubled Europe in 1713, Thatch and his fellow sailors would have found themselves far from home and out of work. They have thus turned to piracy as a means of sustaining themselves. In the ensuing years, Thatch befriended a captain named Benjamin Hornigold and soon after joined his crew as quartermaster at some point between late 1714 and early 1716. Settling in Nassau, Thatch, Hornigold, and the rest of the Flying Gang, as these pirates called themselves, began cooking up schemes far larger than most pirates of the area dared dream. Wanting nothing less than a country of their own, they worked to turn Nassau into a place of liberty and freedom for all who desired an escape from the bonds of imperial rule. Well, that didn't really work out. As Thatch's reputation as a worthy and fearsome seaman grew, so did his ideas about piracy. At some point in the latter half of 1717, having grown a long and frightful beard, and a magnificent beard too, he took to calling himself Blackbeard, and worked at every turn to bolster his legend as the most feared pirate in the West Indies. Thatch revelled in his power of a good legend and worked hard to cultivate this. Frequently sticking lit slow matches in his head to raise a frightening cloud or challenging his crew to endure long stretches below deck as burning sulfur clouded the hold. Yes, we have seen that. After helping Hornigold take command of a number of vessels, Edward Thatch finally acquired a ship of his own in September 1717, a vessel called the Adventure, captained by the most unlikely pirate of them all, one Stede Bonnet. Yes, we know that person too. For 2 months, Thatch captained the Adventure with Steed content to tag along as a passenger. But in November, Thatch's fortune improved further when he captured a massive French slave ship called La Concorde. Renaming her Queen Anne's Revenge in honor of his former Stuart queen, Edward Blackbeard Thatch was now one of the most feared and deadly pirates in the West Indies. For the next year, he terrorized the West Indies and environs before sailing north to the British colonies in North America. Here he frightened the inhabitants of an entire city when he blockaded the port of Charleston, South Carolina, in an attempt to acquire medicine for his ailing crew. We've seen that as well. But shortly after his audacious gambit, Blackbeard decided he'd had enough of the pirate life. He was nearing 40, despite his ferocious reputation, had lost his love for the pirate's game. In the early summer of 1718, he half-heartedly accepted a pardon from his friend Charles Eden, governor of North Carolina. But by late August of that same year, he had fallen back into his old habits, restricting his activities to the southeastern coast of the North American British colonies. Unbeknownst to him, the governor of Virginia, Alexander Spotswood, was keenly aware of his continued piracies and was busy organizing a party to extirpate the nest of vipers. In November 1718, Spotswood offered money to Lieutenant Maynard to see the job done. Taking command of a few fast ships well suited to the shallow inlets where Blackbeard was known to hide, Maynard set off in search of his prize. He learned from passing ships that Blackbeard was likely anchored on the island side of Ocracoke Island, an ideal haunt for a pirate. As dusk fell on November the 21st, Maynard and his crew spotted Blackbeard's ragtag group, but decided to hold off their attack until the tide rose. In the early hours of the following day, Maynard's crew slipped into the bay and approached Blackbeard's ship. They were greeted by a sudden volley of pistol shots and cannon fire. This caused Maynard to retreat, giving Blackbeard and his crew time to slip through the shallow waters and attempt an escape. But, as we know, this didn't really work out for him, and he died. Okay, what do we got here? El Tiburon. Almost nothing is known about El Tiburon, the shark, outside what we have seen from the limited intersections with the life of Edward Kenway. His unwavering loyalty to his employee Laureano Torres could possibly indicate some familiar connection, but there is no benefits to speculation of this sort. If we have any interest in learning more about this silent sentinel, our best bet would be to locate a descendant of Torres himself and work our way back through the governor's life until we find a useful convergence. But apart from this, I doubt we'll have much luck. Yeah, I don't really remember him at all, to be honest. I guess he was accompanying some Templars. Hilary Flint. Hilary Flint was born to an aristocratic family, the youngest of 3 boys. The black sheep of the family, he sought solitude in his studies. Immersing himself in math and sciences, Flint discovered a particular interest in explosives, earning him the label of problem child. I can't understand why. To correct his course, his parents enrolled him in military school, where he quickly worked his way into the hearts of many students and few secret societies. After graduation, his connections earned him access to Templar ranks. His mellow nature and obsession with firearms made him an important asset. Records show on an ongoing relationship with assassin Rona Dinsmore, the nature of which is uncertain. She vanishes from record after his death at 35. Note, he died at 35, that's so sad. Yeah, well, where's the smoke? There's probably explosives. Yeah. Dinsmore was flighty. She'd already left one husband when she met Flint. Did anyone in Havana even know her husband existed? Well, I didn't. But yeah, this has been one of our targets. I do remember him. John Cockram, a close friend and confidant of Benjamin Hornigold, little else is known about John Cockram. Our records indicate that he was a pirate for a few years prior to 1718 before he surrendered to the king's emissaries. It's likely he fell into pirate hunting after that, as most reformed ruffians there want to do. Note, I thought there was Burgess. This was Burgess. No, is this the Irish one? I'm bad with accents. I thought it was Guildenstern or Rosencrantz. Oh no, the first one. Yeah, I kinda mix up some of these people too, I have to admit. So, this is Burgess. A close friend and confidant of Benjamin Hornigold, little else is known about Josiah Burgess. Hang on a second, don't move away. Our records indicate that he was a pirate for a few years prior to 1718, before he surrendered to the king's emissaries. It's likely he fell into pirate hunting after that, as most reformed ruffians there want to do. This guy, such a minor character, we might as well use him as we see fit. If he dies earlier or later, fine by me. You might even give him a crazy secret or a strange tattoo, just to add a little mystery. Maybe he inked an entire treasure map on his back. I'll move his death date, but I'm not putting a treasure map tattoo on him, come on. So apparently they're trying to find some ways to make these people more relevant or distinguishable. Okay, let's read this one, and I guess this is going to be my last one for today. Nephew of the buccaneer Jean Ducasse Julien was born in Montpellier, France. He took after his uncle's example and took to sea at a young age, eventually joining him in a few skirmishes during the War of the Spanish Succession. Fighting on the side of the French and by proxy on behalf of King Philip of Spain, Ducasse's skills as a gunner improved rapidly, even as he grew widely disillusioned with the monarchy and its obsession with lineage and breeding over raw talent and skill. In 1704, ordered by his superior officers to join his uncle and hundreds of French troops in what would become known as the Battle of Vélez Malaga, Ducasse opted instead to desert his post and seek his fortunes in the New World. At first he threw in with slave traders in Africa and for a year made a modest profit of the venture, but he was never comfortable with the cruelty and detachment the job required, and so departed for the West Indies in search of yet another vocation. For the next 10 years, Ducasse roamed the West Indies as a hired gun, working for whomever had the coin and confidence to pay him. Ever prizing the value of intelligence and skill over the mere reputation and breeding, Ducasse eventually found his way into the company of Laureano Torres of Cuba, in whom he found a friend and confidant. Can we say Templar here too? Why don't we mention this? No mentions of Templars in this one. We have no idea why. Orders from the top. Okay, that's weird. By July of 1717, Ducasse has earned Torres's full trust and was soon appointed as captain of one of the governor's largest galleons. Running guns, munitions, gold, and supplies for the governor, Ducasse gained a reputation as a governor's hitman, a cold and ruthless killer who would not hesitate to eliminate anyone who crossed Torres's path. But in September of 1715, he crossed Edward Kenway's path, and the rest is unrecorded history. Yeah, I think he was one of my first Templar targets, if I remember correctly. Okay, so we caught up with some reading here. I think there's still a lot more to read, but the episode is getting too long, so I guess we're going to call it a day for today. And in the next episode, we will finally continue with the main mission. So as usual, thank you for watching, and see you again next time.